Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Miss Faye and this is my world. Okay, we're going to talk about something that's going on out here in these streets that is very serious. And that is a lot of these DL men are grooming young men to be like them. Now, before we get started, let me say welcome. Welcome to all of the new subscribers and welcome to all of I call you family now, the family subscribers. And welcome to the men. Uh, now, let's get started on this subject. DL men are out here grooming young innocent straight men to be DL like them. Okay, how are they doing this? Okay, look at it. Number one, the trend came out, sagging. And for those of you who don't know what sagging is, it's when the men wear their pants below their butt, where you can see their underwear. Now, when that trend came out, a lot of young men did it because they thought it was just a fad. But what happened is, I'm going to show you the evilness behind this. This trend came about in prison, where men would sag, wear their pants below their butt so you can see their underwear, and some of them you just see a butt. It was advertisement that they were about the booty. And so all of the gay men in prison or whatever, they knew who to just go to them because that was the advertisement to let them know that they were down with it. Now, when the trend came to everyday society, a lot of the young boys just took it on. They didn't know what it meant. But, like a lot of trends out here, that people just fall into a trend. They don't think about it, where it came from. They don't investigate it. They see people doing it, and they feel like to be on the in crowd, now we'll do it. I remember when the trend hit, a lot of young men out here had their pants down below their butts, or just a little bit down. You could clearly see the underwear, and they call that sagging. Okay, now it's funny. The other day I saw a young man with no underwear on, and with his pants halfway between. You could see the crack in his behind in the back. That's advertisement. That's letting anybody who wants it can get it. You understand? Now, think about this, ladies. Many of you probably have sons. Young sons. I'm telling you to be careful with your sons. Be careful. Because this evil spirit is out here recruiting people. It's recruiting these DL people. You see, when I was growing up, we knew the gay people. I mean, they stayed to themselves and did their thing and nobody cared. You understand? But now, even the gay community don't really, they don't really embrace the DL people. Because, see, the DL people are deceptive. Deceptive. They're out here taking advantage of people, and you understand, and using sex to do that. That's the DL people, and even the gays don't even like to be bothered with them. They're not true. They're not true people. You understand? They're just out to get what they want, to just take advantage. So Now, for them to be out here grooming your young men, the way they do it is they bring them in like friends. For instance, in the summertime, you may be one of those that send your boys off to camp. Be careful. Be careful. I don't care if it's church camp. You need to think about where you send your boys off to. With these men, you can't trust them today. I'm sorry. You can't trust anybody with your children. The times have changed. And this evil spirit is running rampant and really just taking over people. Taking over people. Now, the DL man, he's a man, he's probably married. He probably has children. He's probably a big person at the church. He may have a good job, whatever. So on the outside, you don't know, he just looks like a wonderful straight man. But he's slipping around, sleeping with men. Sleeping with men. You see? And it's a big secret. You see? DL, that's what it means. Down low means that it is a secret. So now the down low man, because the gay community doesn't want to be dealing with him, he's going to go out here and recruit other down low men that he can be with. Because most down low men will engage with their own. They'll find other down low men to be with. And I'm going to tell you, if your partner, your husband or your boyfriend is spending a lot of time with another man, you need to look at that real close. Real close. And if you have sons, don't be so free to send your sons off to be with a man so he can learn how to be a man. You understand? Men out here telling women, single mothers that have sons, you don't know how to raise a man. Only a man can raise a man. And so, the women, they'll try to find suitable men to send their sons off to spend time with this man. Ladies, I'm telling you, don't do it. I raised my sons on my own. And they turned out to be upstanding people. Don't be so quick to believe what people tell you. Only a man can raise a man. Well, the thing is, why we got all of these down low men and gay men and men who claim they're straight who look like women? Why do we have that? If only a man can raise a man. These are supposed to be men who are supposed to be models for young men. They run around here looking like women. That's right. And I've even seen some of them wear skirts. Now I'm not talking about the men from other countries where this is their attire in other countries. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about these men right from here that are doing it to just try to, what they're doing, they're changing things. This new trend is changing the sexuality of people. It's just changing you. You see, the media, the things you read, you see, things you hear, is letting you know that this new sexual revolution is upon you. And it may not be taking you where you want to go. It may not be taking you where you want to go. You see? And this is the thing. This is the thing. You see, the DL man, he will embrace a straight man as a friend. They're good friends, him and the straight man. And then the way that they do it, they're just kind of throw little tidbits out there. Little gay tidbits just to see how the other person is going to react. Now, this guy was telling me, and he's openly bi. Now, bi men are just gay men anyway. That's what they're gay men. They prefer men. Anyway, so this man's telling me that he was with his friend, and the friend suspected that he was bi or whatever, or maybe he was just open and told him. Now the friend is curious. Now the friend is straight, but the friend is curious, you see. So the friend is asking him, some little questions about it, doesn't it hurt and all that kind of stuff. You see, so now the gay man can tell that his friend is curious about it. You see, that's all it takes for the straight man to be curious. And then his friend that he trusts, you see, is going to make a move. Eventually, he's going to make a move. And he tells me that the move is when they grab the other man's behind. So he did it on that guy. And then the guy, oh no, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? You see, now he acting like, nah, he wasn't for that. But then after a week or two, the straight friend calls back the bisexual friend and say, yeah, I want to try it. Let's do it. You see how quick that can happen? See how quick that can happen? And now the straight guy is all over the bisexual man and doesn't want to stop. He likes it. You see, this is a spirit. People don't understand. People don't understand that this is spiritual. All of this is spiritual. And it's evil. And it's not that the person gets hooked on the feeling of it. The spirit, the evil spirit is transferred from the bisexual man into the straight man. And now the straight man has got the same spirit of lust in him for that activity. You understand? This is how it works. It's not that once they engage in this sexual activity that is so good and it feels so good that they want to keep doing it. It's not that. It's the spirit. It's the spirit transfer. The spirit takes over. That evil spirit is in them. Once they do it, they have accepted the spirit. You understand? For those of you who are new to this channel, I know I jumped right into that. Let me tell you, I am a spiritualist. I am not religious at all. I do not follow any organized religion. It is all spiritual. I live my life according to the 12 laws of the universe. Okay? So this is why I'm telling you that these things that happen in life are spiritual. You see? And if people understood that, I think they would guard themselves against that. Now, a lot of these people don't think there's anything wrong with that. They don't think there's anything wrong with it. Because number one, society is making them believe that it's nothing wrong with you being gay, sleeping with men, sneaking around, taking advantage of people, whatever. There's nothing wrong with it. So why are they on the down low then? If there's nothing wrong with it, why is it a secret? And if there's nothing wrong with it, why are you around here trying to recruit other people? You see, I'm telling you, I go back to when I was young. People that were gay or whatever, they had their own little clique and they stayed to themselves. They were not out here trying to recruit other people. But now, it's like out. It's just out in the public trying to recruit people. and it's an energy. You understand? This is an energy. This is the and see, people, you a lot of you are religious. I know you are. And you go to your religious services and you talk about evil in the world. Evil in the world and how to overcome it or whatever. But then you come home and you're looking in the face of evil and you don't realize what you are seeing. What you are seeing. If you got young men in your care and they have their pants down around their behinds, you need to encourage them to pull those pants up. And hopefully they have not engaged in the experience yet. But they headed there. They are headed there. Because one of those men, one of those DM men, will see that. Because that's a signal to them. To the men, to the gay and the DL men, when they see that sagging, that's a signal that they are receptive. You understand? So when they see that, and they grab that youth. Now the youth, he just did it because it's a style. He see his buddies doing it, it's a style. It doesn't mean anything to him, but it means something. It's a signal. It's a symbol. So now he'll go and start grooming that guy to come on over to the other side. Grooming him. Now, I'm telling you, in some instances, young men are introduced to this sodomy. And that's what it is sodomy. Young men are introduced to this, when they join these secret clubs, these elite groups. You understand? All these elite men groups and that kind of thing. They're introduced to sodomy as initiation. The fraternities and all that kind of stuff. All that kind of stuff. Yes, sodomy. And many times they have to go through that exchange to be a member of the group. You see, because even the group knows that they've done something that they don't want anybody to know they've done that. So now the group has this over their head. This is the secret. The group has a secret that this is what they do. And they tell me that whenever these groups that initiate that sodomy, when they get together on their little conventions or something, that's what they do. They engage in these sexual activities with each other. It is running rampant. Rampant. And what I'm suggesting is that if you have young men in your care, watch them. Sit them down and talk to them. Get them to understand what is really going on. You see, many times, we women we'll talk to our sons about, don't get anybody pregnant. Don't make sure you don't get anybody pregnant, that kind of thing. But nowadays, you got to talk to your sons about don't let anybody touch your behind. Don't let anybody touch your behind. You got to sit them down and talk to that. And pull your pants up, because that's a signal that you are receptive to anybody who wants to touch your behind. You got to be plain English to these young people. And don't beat around the bush. And don't be embarrassed to talk to them truthfully and honestly. Because when they go out with their buddies, they talking to them and they are influencing them. And if you have not given them a firm understanding of what is really going on out here, then they are liable to go with anything. before you know it. Before you know it. Just be wary of any especially older. If he could be a little bit older than if you have a young man in your care, a young boy in your care. You know, they love the young boys. Don't just allow him to go off with older boys. You watch him, because the older boys will take advantage of the younger boys. Sexual advantage. You see, when you're growing up, children are naturally sexually curious. I remember when I was growing up, little boys would say, "If you show me yours, I'll show you mine," and we would just run off and laugh. That was as far as it ever went. But today, in today's society, they going a whole lot further than "you show me yours and I'll show you mine." They're going a whole lot further than that. Understand? And that's what this video is about, ladies. Be careful with your young men. And don't send them off to the pastor neither. Don't trust any man, unless it's their dad, with your boys. You don't know these men. And he could be a relative. You see? He could be anybody. Anybody. Doing the same on this down low. They don't want anybody to know. On the down low. That's why they're so dangerous. Because they are deceptive. It's like a snake. It's like an evil snake. And he is recruiting young boys to be just like him. So ladies, I hope that you understand this message. And the men, you're on here too. And I know you're raising your sons, but I don't think it would affect the men as much as the women raising their young boys, because the men, if you're raising young boys, most times you're with your boys, in activities, and you can keep an eye on them and whatever. But women, you have young boys, many times you will, and you don't have a man around. Many times you will send your boys off to be where men are doing men activities. And this is what I'm saying. Be careful. Even be careful if you send them to the gym. A lot of this happens at the gym. A lot of it. Be careful. Be very careful. So, I think I'm going to end it here. And I want to say thank you so much for supporting this channel. And I want to thank those who leave a donation. I really appreciate it. And keep those comments coming. I enjoy reading them. You don't know. I read them every single day. And I do answer those that I'm able. So let me know what you think. And if there's anything that you'd like for me to cover, if I have experience in it, I would certainly be happy to share it with you. So thank you again for viewing this video, and I certainly hope to see you next time.